Wedding venue owners, in today's video, I want to give away the sauce. And whenever I say the sauce, I mean everything that we do for the 300 plus venues that we work with to completely eliminate cancellations and no-shows, okay? Cancellations and no-shows are terrible, okay? They're about as terrible as this presentation I made for you. This presentation has a ton of value. It is not designed well, okay? I'm prioritizing the value, okay? You know, cancellations and no-shows, they suck, right? But what also sucks is whenever people like my videos and they love our content to help wedding venues grow and scale, but they don't click that like button and they don't click subscribe to stay up to date on all of our new content and tips and tricks for scaling and growing your venue, okay? But besides that, let's go ahead and dive right into it, because for a lot of venues, decreasing your no-shows and decreasing your cancellations, could increase your tour volume by 25% or more, right? And every single tour that cancels with you, every single tour that no-shows with you, or, either because, they realized they didn't like your venue, or they booked elsewhere before they came out and visited yours. I mean, these are missed opportunities that could have resulted in bookings and these missed opportunities can be worth $5, $10, $15, $20, $100,000, right? So every missed opportunity counts. And for the year 2024, or during the year 2024, we analyzed 25 venues that we work with that had the most no-shows and cancellations. But what we found was actually pretty nuts. I'm excited to go over that with you. But before we dive into that, I'm going to go over the number one thing that you can do right now to reduce your no-shows and reduce your cancellations. And this is something we already do for our venues, but so just know it's already a part of the study that we did that I'm going to present to you later about what we found about no-shows and cancellations and what's causing them and how to reduce them. But the number one thing that you can do that we already do, and it was a part of that study, is implement some freaking simple tour reminders, okay? There's a enhanced version of tour reminders, right, that are kind of like the bland ones, that you receive upon, going to the dentist, right? And then there's enhanced ones that really sell the venue before the tour. I'm going to show the framework for both, but this is low-hanging fruit here, okay? If you want to reduce cancellations, want to reduce no-shows, feel free to screenshot this. This is just basic, okay? Where we send a confirmation text and email. We remind them a week before, 5 days before, 3 days before, a day before, and then 4 hours before. And we ask them to confirm. I know my head's probably cutting off this bottom section. It just says, hey, your appointment is confirmed for this day and this time. Just reminding you for our upcoming appointment today at 2 o'clock. Please reply yes to confirm that you're still available for your tour today. Just super simple, super basic. These are the dentist basic reminders, right? So you can go this route, right? Or you can kind of kick it up a notch, and I'm going to show you the framework for that. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. By the way, I highly recommend that these are automated, okay? We automate this, so you don't have to do it manually because your time is more valuable than that. However, if you don't automate it, the process stays the same, okay? Now, that being said, I'm going to show you a more enhanced version if you want to take it up a notch, because every touch point you have with a prospect is an opportunity to move them closer to becoming a sale, okay? So leading up to the tour, you should be sending reminders, so people don't forget, right? But also you can send reminders to provide valuable information and to sell them on what makes your venue special and to build excitement about your venue before the tour. You're essentially trying to sell them before they show up. Here is a simple framework that you can use to do that, okay? Notice here is whenever I'm starting to implement some unique value propositions, where now I'm sending out a confirmation text and email, I'm letting them know what to expect once they get here. Okay, I'll kind of go over the framework for the tour expectations email to make sure you want to make sure that people know what they're getting into when they show up, where they're going to meet you, etc., what they need to bring, right? So bring your inspiration, Pinterest, Instagram, whatever that is. Make sure you bring all your decision makers. Make sure that if you do need to cancel or no show, you need to give us at least 48 hours advance notice. We have so much demand for our venue that, if you don't give us advance notice, then, we're not going to be able to reschedule your appointment. or reschedule another appointment for you. So yeah, just an expectations email, gets them excited before the tour, lets them know what they're getting into. Okay, 7 days before, now you'll notice I'm about to start integrating our unique value proposition. Okay, a lot of venue owners, or not a lot of venue owners, a lot of couples are stressed at this point. That's why we say, relax, we've got your big day covered. We're going to tell them about all of our wedding planning services, about how we're all inclusive, and about how we take care of everything leading up and on the day of the wedding. Okay, so 5 days before, now I'm going to send an email and I'm going to send out all of our spaces and how each space is used and different photos of each space, right? I'm going to give them an idea of how awesome our venue is before they get there. Okay? 3 days before, I'm going to tell them about our on-site lodging, right? Again, I'm getting them excited. I'm getting them thinking, if they don't know these problems already exist, like they don't know about these problems, about the different spaces they need, about how stressful the planning experience is. I'm starting to seed that into their mind, and I'm giving them solutions to problem they didn't even know they had yet, right? Okay, same with lodging, right? Huge unique value proposition. Here's information about lodging, okay? 1 day before, I'm sending out our catering menu, right? Again, they don't even know what they should be looking for with catering. And now we're giving them all that information beforehand, again, getting them more excited and having them more pre-sold before they show up to the venue. And what's really awesome is, again, I keep the last text like, hey, just reminding, please reply yes to confirm. So you're not driving out to the venue and nobody's actually, showing up, right? That would suck. This is going to completely eliminate no-shows. Like, even if you just, implement the basic ones, this is going to completely eliminate no-shows. Yeah, you're going to get some cancellations, but that's not a problem. It is a problem. I'm going to tell you what also could be causing that. But then this is going to reduce no-shows. It's almost going to fall off the map, right? Okay. Now, that being said, all of these unique value propositions are different for every single venue. So just remember that, okay? And these are enhanced versions. You're going to need to write these out on your own. But understand I'm doing a lot of pre-selling here. Now, here's the thing that most people don't know and why people are canceling with them, why people are not showing up on the day of the tour. And the number one thing that you can do to stop cancellations and no-shows. Guys, for some venues, no-shows and cancellations are gigantic bottlenecks. Okay? In the year 2024, we analyzed 25 of our venues that had the most no-shows and cancellations, and the results of that were shocking. Okay? The biggest determining factor, the largest determining factor in knowing if somebody is going to show up to your venue for their tour or not, or if they are going to no-show or if they are going to cancel, is how long you book them in advance. Okay? So if you schedule a tour between 1 and 7 days of them actually requesting it, if today's Tuesday, if they schedule a tour on Wednesday, the no-show and cancellation rates normally range at about 10 to 15%, which means that you have an 85 to 90% show rate, which is super healthy. Okay? Now, as soon as we schedule more than 1 week in advance, that automatically doubles. Somebody is twice as likely to either no-show or cancel with you if they are scheduled 8 days out, 10 days out, 14 days out, versus if you scheduled them within a week. Once it goes past 2 weeks, there's a 30 to 50% chance that these people are going to cancel or no-show. This is crazy, right? Now, of course, this is something you can't always control, right? And so what I try to tell the venues that we work with, there are things that you can do, like the tour reminders to reduce no-shows and cancellations, right? But then also what you can do to build a better connection with the client upon booking an appointment to make them feel obligated to actually show up to their tour, right? So how do we do that? I'm going to go over that with you here in just a minute, okay? But first of all, you need to know why this happens, right? Like why the amount of time that somebody schedules an appointment and when they show up, why that has such an impact on your no-show and cancellation rates, right? So first of all, Every single couple that books a tour with you, you need to remember that they are booking a tour with you for a reason, right? So whenever they are having a conversation with you or they click on that calendar link and they commit to a time to come visit your venue, it's because they felt a connection to your venue. There's something they saw that made them feel like your venue could be the perfect fit for them. Okay? Now, the longer that you wait to get them in for a tour, the more likely they are to forget what that reason is, or they're more likely to forget what it felt like whenever they envisioned themselves having their wedding at your venue. So, to put it bluntly, the longer you wait to get them in the door for a tour, the more likely that connection fades, right? Even worse, you guys may have noticed you might schedule a tour and somebody reaches out to you and they say, yeah, actually we need to cancel. We booked elsewhere. And so as time passed, they found what they were looking for elsewhere and didn't even give your venue a shot, right? Your prospects, as time passes, they're more likely to be they're more likely to be forgetful as well, right? So not only forgetful of the appointment, but why they scheduled an appointment with you in the first place. Okay? So how do we resolve this? Well, one, if possible, we schedule tours between 1 and 7 days, right? If you do calendar links, always have it max 7 days that somebody can schedule a tour with you. Unless, of course, that you are like a destination venue and people need to book more than a month in advance. And in that case, I'm going to show you what to do if somebody books more than 7 days in advance. And also, so if you can't do it, if whether it's your schedule, their schedule, something's not working, regardless if you're destination or not, and they need to schedule with you 2 weeks in advance or more than 7 days in advance, what you want to do is call the lead to build a connection with them, give them value, and tell them a little bit more about what to expect upon arriving to the venue, and also double confirm the date and time of the appointment so they absolutely know that this time works for them, right? I'm going to go over with you a call script in just a second on how you can do that, okay? Now, last but not least, creating value by sending a what to expect on your tour email. Super simple, right? Thanks for scheduling a tour. Here's what to expect. Here's what you need to bring, right? Make sure you bring all the decision makers. Make sure you bring inspiration, okay? Then a quick disclaimer that if they need to cancel or no-show due to limited tour availability and a high demand for requests for appointments, if they do not give you 48 hours of advance notice, you will not be able to reschedule them for a tour. This is going to raise your status to where they feel like, oh, a lot of people must want this venue, which is super healthy for you to make people want your venue more, but then also make people understand the consequences of not taking this seriously and not showing up for their appointment. Now, let's just say hypothetically somebody schedules an appointment with you. And it has to be for more than 7 days out. What you're going to do is, as soon as you click book appointment, as soon as you see from Calendly or whatever that somebody booked an appointment with you, you are going to call them. You're going to call them. You are going to build a connection with them. I'm going to go over the script here shortly. You're going to build a connection with them. You're going to tell them what to expect once they get here. And you are going to double confirm the appointment and have them tell you, no, 100%, that time 1,000,000% works great for me. I will be there. Because whenever you do this the right way, people are going to feel obligated to show up for their tour. Because now they've met you. Now, it hasn't just been an email exchange. They've met you, you've spoken, right? They might even like you at this point. A lot of venue owners have great personalities and they just need people to meet them to get more tours and bookings. And so they meet you, and now whenever they're at a venue and the venue's trying to get them to sign on site same day, they really make a point to hold off because they feel obligated to give your venue a shot and show up to your venue for a tour. They've made that personal connection, and now they are going to show up for your tour and they're going to give your venue a shot. In that case, more importantly, they are going to make a memory and a note in their brain to not miss this tour. You've separated yourself from the rest because you've actually met them at this point. All right, guys, so the script is incredibly simple. You don't have to copy everything I have here completely word for word. The main things you need to cover, okay, is you need to call, you need to introduce yourself, okay? You need to tell them what to expect once they get here, okay, once they get to the venue. And you need, the most important part here, you need to double confirm the appointment. Okay, so just a quick example. They said, hey, this date and time works. Awesome. I say, okay, looking forward to meeting with you. And now I click book appointment. Right away, I'm going to call them. I'm going to say, hey, is this Karen? Hi, Karen. Hey, yeah, this is just Jarek with the barn at Cedar Grove Ranch Barn and Wedding and Events. You had just scheduled a tour with us for next Friday at 2 o'clock. I just wanted to give you a quick call and kind of tell you what to expect once you get here. Is now an okay time? Yeah, absolutely. Now's okay. I have a couple of minutes. Great. Well, hey, just wanted to let you know that once you get here, you're going to be parking around X area. I did just send you over a text and email with more instructions about where to park. We're going to be waiting for you inside of the bridal suite, which is right here. I also sent over a little map for you to check that out. Okay. At the beginning of our tours, we normally start off by doing a quick 10-minute consult to get a better idea of what it is that you're looking for and the kind of vibe that you're really wanting for your wedding day. And if you aren't that far along yet, no worries at all. That's kind of what we're here for. Be sure to bring any inspiration that you might have, whether it's from Instagram or like Pinterest, anything that you might be able to give us that might give us a better idea of how we can, make your day special. After that, we'll kind of walk around all the different spaces. And after the tour, if you feel like it might be what you're looking for, we'll go over some of the different options we have and discuss some possible next steps. Does that sound fair enough? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and can you check something for me, Karen? Yeah, for sure. I have you scheduled for next Friday, the 13th at 2 o'clock. Is there any reason you can think of why you wouldn't be available at that time, or are you certain that this time works for you? No, that time definitely works for me. Yeah, for sure. Or they could say, yeah, let me double check that. Yeah, my fiance is going to be free at that time. We're going to be good to go. Okay, and is there any friends or family you'd like us to include on this calendar invite? No, not at all. No, we're good. I'm all good to go. Awesome. Well, hey, looking forward to meeting with you. Don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. Talk soon. Thanks. Bye. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the sauce on how you can reduce cancellations and reduce no-shows at your wedding venue that can hopefully add on an additional 10 to 15% in bookings for your venue every single year. Again, no-shows and cancellations, giant bottlenecks for most. Do whatever you can to isolate each single stage in the pipeline and to isolate bottlenecks inside of your funnel so you can work on those and you can reduce the amount of missed opportunities that you are experiencing at your wedding venue, because it is the most expensive cost that you have, right? So now, that being said, thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you want to see more about how to grow and scale your wedding venue, hit that subscribe button. But thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll see you next time.